What is up, everybody? It's your boy Nerdicane doing a review. Unsacred number 3 has come out from Mirka and Dolfo. Go buy this. I hope you're buying this. This book is a lot of fun. It's funny. It's sexy. It's a joy to look at. Just the artwork. I can't really show it because there's a little bit of nudity in here, so I can't. I don't want to risk opening it up and having to redo this whole thing. But this is a really quality book. I want you to go out and buy this. I hope you're going out and buy this. I'm going to read that later. The story in that is actually progressing. I thought it was just like a bunch of one-shot little comics, but it turns out that there's a story arc to it now, and it has a progression. It's actually very interesting. This, however, is not. This is what happens when you take a company like Marvel and then you do a flood the shelves type of philosophy. When you're putting out close to 100 books or more every month, this is what you get. This is the thing you get. You sort of overwork your talent. You overwork your editing staff. Your editing staff generally isn't very good to begin with, but then you overwork them and they get even worse. So this is good. This is Web of Venom, The Good Son, number 1. This is designed to come directly off the printer and then go directly into the memory hole. This is, they're trying to do, I guess they're going to try to make characters out of these two kids. This is the son of Harry Osborn, and then that's the son of Eddie Brock. They have a symbiote. You'll find this in this. They're kind of toying around with it as if it were like one of their dad's guns. With mixed results. But you're going to find out that neither of these kids, well, one of them sort of starts out, you think he's kind of the bad kid, but then you realize he's not really the bad kid. The other kid's like a complete sociopath. But here's credit where credit's due. I just want to say to some of the editors, especially if there was an art editor, you're not doing your job. Just stay home, okay? If you're going to do this level of work, just stay home, okay? Because you're not helping anybody. This has probably more art editing than anybody else, than this entire comic book. So this is sort of in the wake of the Maximum Carnage thing that Donny Cates did. So you see Red Goblin, and that's the son of Red Goblin and the son of Eddie Brock, and for their safety, they're kind of put together and living here at the Osborn house. I forget which Osborn that is. And they're sort of like stuck together, but look at these faces. You see faces like this throughout the comic, and it's like right here. Look at that. That's the face of a sociopath, and you keep seeing this. It's so just unnaturally written for these are teenagers. They're like 12 or 13, however old they're supposed to be. It's just weird the way that they're written. It's somebody who's, I guess, just the only time they remember being 13 is when they were 13. They've never really been around 13-year-olds in the current year. And of course, it's Marvel in 2020, so there has to be a silly Billy alien cat as well. You'll find out that that's some sort of creature from another planet. I don't know, but it's a full-sized, like a Venom, like the size of Venom. So they're sneaking. They're almost like Hank and Dean Venture, only if Hank and Dean Venture were sociopaths with a Venom symbiote. That's what this book is, and it's just like the characters are unlikable. You don't like them for any reason. They're not like. This could have been a fun book. This could have been a book. I'm having trouble thinking about who the audience this is for. This isn't for, teens and preteens. This isn't a fun type of book like that. This is a book for people who like prepubescent prepubescent sociopaths. I don't know who this book is for. Now, this could have been, like I said, this could have been a really fun book for preteens and teens. This could have been like Shazam for the Marvel Universe. It's just something light and fun. They get into some mischief. They get into something that's a little bigger than they can handle, but they somehow overcome it. This is just two sociopaths, like I said, with a piece of the Carnage symbiote running around. This is the part I had. I had this whole sequence. What they're trying to do is steal this card key. That's a card key. That's not an Apple TV remote, because that's what the size here is. I kind of had a problem with this whole thing, this whole, like, this is where art direction needed to happen. I had to look at this panel a bunch of times to understand what was going on, because you see, he creates a distraction. He's here with the symbiote in his right hand, and this here. You see that the symbiote is reaching into the pocket, but you don't really know what it's doing. Now all of a sudden you see his left hand. So I didn't know. It took me a while to figure out that, okay, he put it here, it grabbed it, and then he moved his left hand so the symbiote could come back and bring him the card key. The cat is just sort of like sat smugly happy about that as well. So this is where they could have gone out into the city and had some fun. Instead they go out in the city and act like sociopaths. They have paper mache masks, which is exactly what a child murderer would have in this book. So they go out wearing their mask, and nobody really takes notice of that. The first thing they do is that's a raccoon, by the way. This is how a raccoon would look if somebody had never seen a raccoon and just had it described to them. That's like a tree panda. That's not a raccoon. If you took away the red or the black on here, that would be a red tree panda. But yeah, they're running around with their sociopath mask, and they're basically putting the venom symbiote onto random animals that they're torturing random animals. That's something that, sociopaths do as children. So it's establishing that these are not, you can't really grow to like these kids because they're just awful. But then they get into some shenanigans, and it's sort of like a venom. I gotta skip some pages for the copyright, guys. This is sort of like a venom raccoon, which I'm sure will get its own mini-series soon enough. A lot of this art is just weird angles, flat angles, and just not very good. And the color's okay, but every once in a while you get like a scene like this sequence, which shows, okay, this artist is actually really good. They could have done, this is actually a really neat sequence where he lets the symbiote take over his hand and they're fighting because other things in the book. But there's flashes of it. There's flashes of really good art that could have been good art if you had drawn it, if an editor had been able to draw it out of there. The story is, like I said, a couple sociopath kids playing around with their daddy's gun that they found, which is the Carnage symbiote. I'm not going to show any more. This is just, who is this for? Who am I supposed to root for? Where is this going? What's the point of the alien cat? What is this book doing? I don't know. I just don't know what this, like I said, this is to be thrown directly down the memory hole. And even Marvel really doesn't care about it because, as I've said before, my way of telling if Marvel cares about a book is backgrounds. If you see people floating, a lot of scenes where the characters are floating in the pink, in the pastel miasma, then they didn't really bother to do backgrounds, and they didn't really bother to set up scenes, so they don't really care about the book. And that's pretty much what this is. I can't recommend it because it's going to have no impact. It's going to go nowhere. The Venom thing or the Carnage thing is over. This is basically just like mopping up after a party and Marvel trying to see if they can milk something out of these two kids. If you like sociopath kids, yeah, pick this up. You'll love it. But yeah, I'm done with this one after issue 1. Marvel really needs to stop the flood the shelves things, because this is what you get. You get nothing books that don't really matter, that didn't have a whole lot of care put into them, that are just going to go straight down the memory hole. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Not a recommend. This one's going to go nowhere. This one's probably going to go directly in the recycle bin or donated somewhere. But that's all I got for this one. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time. Go out and buy Mirka Andolfo's Unsacred and just leave this one on the shelves. But I just got back from the comic shop. I got some new comics, and you guys go have a good day. Bye.